Damn, you're a great drinker.
A drink after work is the best. Changed my mind. My name is Nanami, and I'm 40 years old. I work as an office worker at a food manufacturer. Today, after work, I went to a nice pub with my childhood friend, Kekeru, who is the same age as me.
You know what? You're right. I'm really tired too.
Remind me, you started developing a new program?
Yep, you got it. I'm cooking my brain so much more than usual. I'm exhausted.
Kekeru works as a software engineer at a major IT company. I don't know the details, but the man proclaims he's the ace of the company for the time being.
By the way, how's your workplace doing?
Terrible as always. Miss Harue is still the worst.
Ah, that old witch. What happened this time?
Just the other day,
Miss Nanami, this part right here is wrong.
this woman who handed me a document with a troublesome look on her face is Miss Harue. She's 10 years older than me and a senior at my workplace. She's in the same position as me, chief advisor, but just because she is a senior, she's overbearing and gives me all kinds of instructions and puts the blame on me whenever something goes wrong. What? This wasn't my job, ma'am.
So, who did it, hey? Who did this?
You did, bitch!
Anyway, fix it right away. This is a document that's going to be used first thing tomorrow morning.
Wouldn't it be better if you fixed it, ma'am? You're better at it, aren't you? Well, I truly think I can finish it super neatly, unlike you.
Well, sure I am, but I'm very busy right now.
Huh. While following her orders hurts my pride and makes my blood boil, but if this document isn't fixed up and finished, it will cause a mistake for the entire office. There was no other way around it. I'll take it on for the sake of the company rather than for the sake of Miss Harue. Understood.
If only you had accepted from the beginning, we wouldn't have had to waste this much time.
If that's the case, then you fix it yourself. And Miss Harue stormed off towards the manager's office. All things considered, I'm sure she's not busy at all. It's not the busy season right now, and she passes most of her work on to me. Despite this, she is pretty good at getting along with people, and I don't think she'll get fired from the company. But there's a reason for that.
Mr. Manager, is there anything I can help you with?
A 50-year-old woman acting like a 20-something-year-old is ridiculous. She's good at sucking up to those above her in this manner, and I sometimes wonder if our boss not seeing through all that is okay in the noggin. But I suppose that as a boss, it must be easier to work with subordinates who are easy to use. And so, I've been so stressed out this week.
Sounds tough as hell. I'm surprised you haven't quit yet.
Everyone else except for Miss Harue is so nice. Not to mention I'm used to the work, and the salary isn't too bad either.
I see. Well, as long as you're okay with it, Nanami, that's fine. It's fun to listen to anyway.
You treat this like it's a problem for me alone. We got pretty comfortable talking about trivial things for about 2 hours.
Oh, damn, look at the time. Is your husband okay with you being out so late, Nanami?
It's fine. He's been working a lot of overtime recently and he comes home late at night. I married my husband Kento 2 years ago. Kento is 30, so I suppose you could say it's a marriage with a big age gap. He used to be my subordinate at work, but Kento changed jobs when he was 26, so now he works at a different company.
Coming home late at night, working in trading?
Is there a problem?
Oh, no, but let me just say that as a programmer myself, yes, I sometimes work overtime late at night, or until the early hours of the morning. I was just surprised that trading employees also work until late at night.
I know, for real. I'm also pretty surprised because I've suddenly been working a lot of overtime. To be honest, I sometimes suspect that he's having an affair, but I feel bad thinking that way, considering the fact he really is working hard, but... Up until now, he hardly ever had to work overtime, but recently he's been working on something new and seems to be pretty busy. And you too, Kekeru? It's getting late. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. Kekeru unfortunately got divorced a year ago, the reason being his wife having an affair, and now he lives alone in a house. By the way, he never had any kids, so his wife just left him and he doesn't know where she is now.
No worries, Nanami. I don't really care anymore. I wonder if there's a good woman out there somewhere.
What kind of person are you looking for?
One that doesn't cheat, obviously. It doesn't matter if she's 20 or 80 or whatever age.
Your strikeout zone is too huge, buddy. A few dozen minutes later, we left the pub and went on our respective ways home. Did Kento leave me anything? Nope. He told me a few hours ago that he was working overtime again that night, but nothing since then. I wonder if he's still working hard. I feel kind of lonely. Oh, I know. Maybe I should go to my parents' place. I'll have dinner with Dad for the first time in a while. Dad always went to bed late and he'll probably be awake. I called him and he said he was drinking alone at home, and the plan just clicked. I should tell Kento. I'm at my parents' house. Come on over if you'd like. There we go. I'm home.
Welcome back, sweetie. I went to a convenience store and bought some more for you.
Wait, you shouldn't have. I bought some things too.
I guess we can drink quite a bit tonight.
I go out to lunch or dinner with Dad regularly, and of course, Kento comes too. My dad and I have been very close for a long time. The reason being I grew up in a single-father home, and I was an only child. They apparently divorced when I was 2 years old, so I don't remember my mother's face whatsoever. Apparently, her education methods were quite diabolical, according to Dad, so Dad took custody of me. At that time, he was just 21 years old, and I realized after growing up that it was really amazing that he raised a child on his own at such a young age. I'm already 40 years old, but I still don't have the confidence to raise a child like my dad did me. Anyway, I'm so grateful to him for everything.
Did Kento not come along?
No, seems like he's been busy with a lot of overtime lately, and he'll probably be late again today. I told him to come if he could, but...
I see. Well, health is the most important thing, and I don't want him to push himself too hard.
I agree.
How's Kakeru, by the way? You had dinner with him tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I was. He seems to be on top of the world right now. Kakeru's parents' house has always been near mine, and we've been close together as two families for as long as I can remember.
Good. Glad to hear it. Hoping to see them again sometime soon. Anyway, let's have a toast, Nanami.
Yeah. I spent about 3 hours with my dad, watching TV and looking at photo albums from the old days. But Kento hadn't contacted me even until we went to bed. The next morning, when I got home, Kento was asleep in bed. When did he... I wish he'd at least contacted me at some point. I don't know what time he came home, so I guess I should try hard not to wake him. I had breakfast and was doing the laundry and cleaning around the house, and just before noon, Kento woke up.
Good morning, Nanami.
Good morning, honey. Great job last night.
Last night?
You worked overtime yesterday, didn't you? What time did you get home?
Oh, I did. Probably around 6 in the morning.
What? Did it seriously take that long?
I finished at around 3, but I took a little nap at the office before coming home. I was really sleepy.
That's still too late, honey. Are you okay? You should think about changing jobs. You're not getting paid for overtime, are you?
It's okay, honey. Sure, I do want overtime pay, but I get some other privileges because of this job.
That doesn't sound satisfactory.
Well, I say it's fine, so it should be okay. My work is fulfilling too.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. But more importantly, why don't we go out to town today? There are a lot of things I want to see.
What?
Oh? Did you have something to do?
No, I thought you had work today too. I'll go get ready. Well, if the man himself says everything's fine, then so be it. But he originally left our workplace saying he didn't like working overtime. Now things have been reevaluated and we hardly have to work overtime. But back when Kento was still with us, we worked a lot of overtime. That being said, it wasn't as much as it is now for him. It seems like he was satisfied with his old job and he got along well with his colleagues. So he probably just hated the overtime with a passion. Now he might be finding rewarding work worth the effort. Sorry to keep you waiting. What's wrong?
Oh no, nothing.
Let's go. We went out shopping, buying clothes and looking at home appliances as candidates for future purchases. Whew, I feel tired from all the walking around.
Yeah, it's already 3 o'clock. By the way, there's a new cake shop that opened last week. Shall we buy a cake there and go home?
I don't like cake though.
What the? Oh, damn. I remember you telling me. My bad.
Didn't you hate cake too?
No, I've started to like it recently, actually. Maybe I've been working too hard and need some sugar.
I feel like he's hiding something, but it's just a woman's intuition.
Well then, maybe I'll just buy a few for myself.
Kento bought 2 cakes. You want 2 cakes?
Yeah, they both looked so good, I couldn't bring myself to throw one away. Come on, let's go home. Oh, wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Sorry, honey. I got an email from work, and they want me ready now. This is freaking stupid. It's a day off. Something so rare. I wonder if I'll ever have a proper day off.
And then he went on blurting out lines that seemed to have been thought up beforehand, like a bad actor. It was a spectacle, though. I'll give him that.
So Nanami, I'm sorry, but please go home first.
What? Are you seriously going to work? Besides, I have too much luggage and I can't get on the train by myself.
I'll call a taxi, so it should be okay. Oh, I'll take the cake.
You don't want me to put it in the fridge?
There's one at the office. I'll eat them during my break.
I see. Kendo raised his hand to hail a cab.
I'm sorry, honey. There's a chance I'll be late again tonight.
And so I went home feeling lonely. This is so suspicious. After I got home, I called Kakaru. It's partly because I know him well as an old friend, but it's also because he's my senior, in a way. Chief Affair Victim!
Stop calling me that! And more importantly, saying I'm Chief Affair Victim implies you're my subordinate, you know?
Yeah, I very well could be. I told him about what happened that day. What do you think, Chief?
Very suspicious, yes. Or rather, even before that, it's extremely suspicious that he's been working a lot of overtime and coming home in the morning.
I see. I guess I had a feeling about something similar, but there was also a part of me that didn't want to admit it.
So, what do you want to do, Nanami?
What I want to do?
What if, for example, his affair was confirmed? Would you break up, or would you like to continue on with the relationship?
Well, I took a good long look at myself inside. As expected, he and I have been working a lot of overtime and we were having less and less time together. I was happy to be able to go out again, just the two of us, like today, but I didn't like him being so concerned about his phone. Not to mention the fact he called a taxi and sent me home without even asking my opinion. No, today's date was also some kind of inspection or something to appease him. And that cake was paid for from our food budget? That was definitely for his lover, isn't it? I was starting to feel furious. I'll make him pay more than any stupid cakes can afford.
Oh, believe me, I think you can get more than that. If you want to claim various things from him, you should go to a detective and collect evidence.
He introduced me to the detective agency they had used, and I made a request there. Due to the office's schedule, they told me they would be prepared to start on Monday. Well, he works overtime every day anyway, so it's okay if today's missed. But little did I know I would confirm Kento's affair one way or another, in the most unexpected way imaginable. It was the beginning of the week and the day before Kento had come home early in the morning. But that didn't matter to me anymore. It would probably be settled today anyway. When I got to work, Miss Haruo approached me with a disgruntled look on her face. Did she come to blame me for another mistaken assignment?
You cheater!
Excuse me?
Could you, not steal my darling away from me?
Darling? I never thought Miss Haruo would say any term of endearment on that scale, to be honest. I was thus very surprised at this outburst. What on earth is going on? Could it be that Miss Haruo is the woman Kento was having an affair with? But the man himself absolutely hated her while he was still working here. What's going on, ma'am?
Don't you dare pretend! I saw you together with my darling, you know.
Huh? I was bamboozled. I'm the wife of a man, after all, so what was wrong with being with my darling? In our current position, Miss Haruo would be the cheater here. Wait, could it be Kakaru? He did say anything under 80 years old was up his alley, so maybe Miss Haruo is a true candidate? I often complain about this witch to Kakaru, but he only knows her name and has never seen her face. The possibility of him never connecting the dots and dating her regardless of the fact that she's the same one I complain about is not so far-fetched. But he did say he wondered if there was a good woman out there, and it doesn't seem like he'd date her. I can't help but think you're mistaking me for someone else.
There's no way, because I saw it with my own eyes. Anyway, please don't go near him.
And then she stormed away. After that, I tried talking to her to find out the truth, or at least some details, but she ignored me and the day ended without me finding out. What? Who are you talking about? If it's Kento, I'll charge you as much as I can for alimony, capiche? That day, Kento was working overtime again, as expected. I told the detective about it, and he immediately set up a stakeout. An hour later, I received a message with a photograph. Is it possible to get evidence this quickly? The photo attached to the message was of Kento entering a hotel with a woman. A photo of him entering a hotel, hey? This is definitely an affair. Why would he with an old lady like that? However, when I looked at the woman's face, it's not Miss Haruo? The woman in the photograph was in her 20s, much younger than Miss Haruo, and myself as well. There was a part of me that was relieved they hadn't made a move on Miss Haruo. It would have been too much of a shock to lose someone to that witch. After all,
This is no time to be relieved, Nanami.
I immediately called out the chief affair victim and we met up at our usual pub. And so it's been confirmed he's guilty.
I'm so surprised they gathered evidence so quickly.
But even if that's the case, I'm worried about what Miss Harue said. Based on her accusations, it seems like the most likely thing is you, bro.
Please, stop. I said it as a joke the other day. My strikeout zone isn't that huge, believe me. And I particularly dislike hysterical old ladies like that.
So, who is it?
Who knows? There's a possibility your husband is having an affair with multiple women.
Seriously? I think it would be better if you continued to ask for help then.
Well, there's a good chance you'll get a lot of evidence out of this. But the increase in requests will also increase the fees. The most important thing is that it's advantageous for you when you divorce your husband, not to take him back from the other women.
I see. I was so angry that I lost sight of the objective. Kakeru has always given me very accurate answers. He always helped me when I was worried about my future even. Well, Kakeru was cheated on and was worried about how to live his life at one point, so I know that might not sound very persuasive. This is going to make Dad depressed.
Your old man was pestering you with, "When are you going to get married?" once upon a time, wasn't he?
Yep, back to square zero.
Well, even if his daughter did get married, if she was unhappy, that's the worst thing to discover as a father.
I guess you're right. I'll try not to fail next time for his sake.
By the way, is Mr. Suzuki faring well?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Let's go to his place now. I want to tell my dad about this, and he said he wanted to see you after a long time. Operation Surprise Ambush is a go. We then headed to my father's house, but when I arrived at the entrance of the house…
So you were the cheater after all.
What? What are you doing here, Miss Harue?
My darling's house is close by. More importantly, who's that beside you? Could this be the second man you're having an affair with? Oh, what a bitch you are, eh?
Huh?
She's a more judgmental hag than I thought, bro. What the hell?
For real, she never listens to what other people say.
More importantly, didn't she just say you were cheating with a second man?
True. Based on what she yelled at me at work, if Kakeru was her boyfriend, it would have to be the first man without the second. Who is the other man? Then Dad came out of his front door.
Oh, I thought it was noisy out here. And wouldn't you know, it's my little girl.
Daddy!
Daddy? So you have a goddamn sugar daddy too?
Excuse me? This gentleman is my biological father?
What? No, that can't be true.
On what basis?
The other day, you came into this house late at night and went back outside in the morning.
Wait, was that the day I went drinking with Kakeru? Wait, how the hell do you know?
Oh, well, I know everything about my darling.
Oh, was it Harue?
Oh, Mr. Masayoshi! What a coincidence.
I see. So it was you.
And then Dad called out towards the house, saying, "Excuse me, please come outside." That implied he had company. Is someone inside?
Yup.
And then who better to come out than… police?
The culprit is probably this woman here.
He pointed to Harue.
I must say, she certainly looks like the person who was on the security footage at Mr. Suzuki's residence. Allow me to ask you a few questions.
Hey, Mr. Masayoshi, this must be some misunderstanding.
Then how the hell did you know Nanami stopped by a few days ago?
Well, that's because my house happens to be around this neighborhood and…
No, you live in a completely different neighborhood. I don't know the exact location, but I know that Miss Harue lives in a different ward from where my dad's house is. And then she was taken into police custody. So what's going on?
Ah, yes. So I've actually had a stalker for some time now.
What?
Strangely, I've been feeling like I'm being watched lately, and I was wondering if I was merely imagining it. But when I got home today, there were signs of a break-in in the garden, and a woman was on my security camera. So I had the police come to take a look.
I see. So that's why there's a security camera at the entrance.
Yep, there it is. But I just installed it yesterday.
Where did you meet Miss Harue?
About 2 weeks ago, at a party my friend hosted. We exchanged contact information, but she was so persistent, and I ignored her. I guess that's how it came to this. I'd actually completely forgotten her face. I saw her on the security camera, and I still couldn't remember her at all.
The hell are you talking about? Darling this and darling that?
Darling?
Yeah, she called you darling, Dad.
It's so scary to think that you're dating someone when you're definitely not. Well, I'm grateful that she took a liking to her, but she's not my type.
I definitely wouldn't want someone like that to become my new mother.
But thanks to you guys, we were able to solve this case quickly. Thank you.
I'm glad I was able to save you too.
Anyway, I was wondering, did you guys have something with me?
Oh, right. I was thinking of getting a divorce. He cheated on me after all.
What the hell? That absolute bastard! Cheating shall be punished! For sure! Cheating ought to be severely punished!
Very convincing, my lord. But I frankly feel pretty relieved, and all the confusion I've had up until now is cleared up after all.
I see. If you're okay with moving forward, so be it. But what about the house?
That's true. Right now, we're both paying the bills and can live in that penthouse, but the rent is a bit tough for one person to pay.
Yeah, I want to invite you back to this house. But there's also the matter with Haruei, so it would be nice if she could be detained for a while. But I'm a bit worried about bringing you back. If that's the case, how about you two live at my place?
What?
Well, living alone in that house, you can imagine being so lonely. Not to mention, it's close to your workplace, Nanami. And it would be terrible for you if that Haruei bitch infiltrated this house again, right?
But still.
It's okay. We can share the place until you find a place to live more permanently. I see. Kakeru, son, I ask you to take good care of Nanami.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Always been slow, Nanami. Always has been slow, our Nanami.
What? What? Is this a confession?
You haven't filed for divorce yet, so I won't say anything. I hate affairs, after all. Good for you, Nanami. If Kakeru's going to be the one protecting you, I can rest easy too.
Wait a minute.
Well, I guess you can think about it slowly after filing for divorce.
Yeah, that's right. Is that right? So it seems like things are going to go in an unexpected direction. I filed for divorce immediately. Kento, that stupid bastard, said it was good that it was about time. I was thinking of breaking up with you, he said, and left without hesitation. But
Please, let me come back to you!
no way in hell. Get along with your girl, all right?
There's no one left!
What? Why? By the way, you had multiple affairs with multiple women?
Yeah, they all found out around the same time you did it. I can't pay off the alimony!
Do you think I care?
And one of the people involved was the wife of my boss at work! Now I've been pushed to the sidelines at work, demoted, and my salary's not enough!
Seeing Kento's financial difficulties, all the women ran away, and now he's living alone in a rundown apartment. Maybe I should have extended the request and demanded the alimony in full. Meanwhile, Miss Haruei was found to have stalked Dad, trespassed on his property, and stolen his underwear. Seems like she can't be released from the police. I wish this would be the catalyst to live a better life, but it seems like it wasn't her first crime. She's the kind of person who would call the man he has a crush on darling and hovers around them, too. When I heard that she did it to other people in the past, it made so much sense. I felt chills run down my spine when I thought I had worked with someone like that for so many years.
Your ex?
Yep, he wants me to come back. He seems to be in financial trouble.
That's no good. Now that you're my wife.
And so, after that, we started dating. We already knew everything about each other, and it was only 3 months until we got married. Speedy wedding indeed. From now on, I hope we can live happily as a family of 3.